here we are, season 10, episode 1. So the first thing we see is everybody's entrances, and of course, who's going to be first? Well, it has to be Eureka, doesn't it? And here she is as the Firebird, the Phoenix, rising from the ashes of season 9 in her massive, great big feathered costume. One of my favourite entrance outfits is Yua. I think she looks absolutely gorgeous. This beautiful red with the sleeves, you know, and then she's also thought about what she's doing with it. You know, she's got the shade out already. She's straight away there, letting us know what we can expect from her. And yes, there are of course the obvious comparisons with previous season winners. My least favourite entrance, I'm sorry, it was Calorie. Like, I don't think that outfit was appropriate for an entrance. Like, this is the first time that the whole world is going to get to see you, and you've chosen a white see-through leotard and a black coat to put over the top, and then boots, slouch boots, which do nothing for your leg, and they're in a sort of pale blue, pastel-y purple, you know, like a Parma violet sort of shade. And we all know that Parma violets, you either like them or you think they're disgusting. And I'm afraid I thought that those Parma violets were disgusting. The other person whose outfit I wasn't as keen on was the Vixens. Like, again, this is your first opportunity to be seen by the whole world. You know, it's not on some little backwater TV network now, it's on VH1. So this is going out to hundreds of millions of people, and you choose to wear bits of cardboard that you've painted. Her makeup, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, but her outfit just didn't really do it for me. Last to enter the workroom is Aquaria, and of course here we find out that there is some history between her and Ms. Cracker. They put these in every season. We had Alyssa and Coco, and then last season we had Eureka and Trinity. You know, we know that they put these little conflicts in there in order to help create the drama and push forward with the drama in the show. Which makes me wonder whether they say in their audition videos or something like that, you know, do they say, I really, really hate this bitch? We hate each other, you know, before they go in. And now we're into the mini challenge. The mini challenge brought back loads of previous queens from previous seasons. Big shout out to Mrs. Kasha Davis, whose hair was insane! She looked so good. Work the runway as if they were at a ball, like a New York ball. You're straight in there, you've just met everybody, and then you're whisked away, put in front of loads of previous season winners and season competitors and fan favourites, and you have to deliver on a runway in front of them. You know, it's not like they're off to the side, and you know that they're judging you as well. I mean, there is the pressure. Woo! Who were the people who I thought really stood out? I really thought that Monet Exchange, I thought she really stood out. I thought she was very funny. I thought Yua looked great doing it. I thought Cameron Michaels looked really good doing this as well. And oh my gosh, can do the box splits. Okay. So they all come back to the workroom having finished all of the queens de-drag. We can't move on without discussing Cameron Michaels. Oh my god! Really awkward though when Calorie like points out this thing, that level of pervy on somebody when they're stood there in front of you. Just a little bit awkward, I thought. So they've all de-dragged, and we get the required screams as RuPaul enters the room. Yeah! Yeah! Oh my god! Oh my god! Now, my favourite line in the whole of this comes from Vanessa Banji saying RuPaul is like the Loch Ness Monster. Ah! Okay. we find out that Monet Exchange is the winner of the mini challenge. Woo! She then explains what the main challenge is going to be. It's Drag on a Dime, which is the very first challenge from season 1. So I thought it only right that I do my very own bit of Drag on a Dime. So here it is. Here we go, Drag on a Dime. Drag on a Dime is the first challenge. Here we go. And there we have our first little bit of drama going on between Blair St. Clair, who incidentally looks about 12 years old. Can we just take a moment and what? So Blair St. Clair and Dusty Ray Bottoms, the two musical queens. Ah! Oh yes. You can see it already. It's going to be like West Side Story, isn't it? They're going to be running up and down, firing guns at each other. Dusty Ray is talking about she's going to make like a Judy Jetson style outfit out of these visors. And then they all look across the workroom and what's happening? Oh, Blair St. Clair is also using the visors. But instead of talking about it, she's just getting on and doing it. Like she's just putting the stuff together. They've all kind of created their costumes to a greater or lesser extent, and now they start painting their faces. And what happens? Miss Cracker and Aquaria both have clown brows on. They both look like the sad clown. Like, how did that happen? What was that about? Did Miss Cracker copy her, or was it just that a 20s brow went more with her style of costume? Wah, wah. So everybody's putting their makeup on and they all look beautiful. Everybody's makeup looks great. This season, there's nobody's makeup who looks awful. Like even Dusty Ray Bottoms, who I was like, I'm not sure about this dots thing. I think it's a bit, her face looks beautiful. Like looks really, really good. She looks great. And we get to see them on the runway in their full glory, in everything that they've created. The first queen that we see is Aquaria, and she's got a concept. I just don't think the execution of it is there. Like, she's made a hat, and then these nipple pasties. I don't feel like everything tied together very well, and I also don't feel like the execution was quite there. Everything's very kind of rough around the edges, like the pasties, they're not symmetrical, which if that's all that you're making, to me it has to be perfect. Asia was like a whole box of colour, like she just got everything out of the box and put it all on, like there was so much of everything. So then we have Callery. I think she suffers from the same thing that Aquaria did, in that she had an idea but the execution just wasn't there, and like the feedback, if you're going to do something that we've seen already, you have to do it better. Her face and her wig look beautiful, the rest of it, Top 3 was Blair St. Clair with the visors, and I think it was bin bags, you know, like big bin bag shoulder pads. Looked super, super cute. And her makeup is stunning. Like, absolutely stunning. You can see what the producers are doing. They've created this little bit of drama, and then they've sent in Blair St. Clair first in her visor dress, and then in comes Dusty Ray Bottoms in what, to me, is the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. It's that thing about get yourself ready and then take one part of the outfit off. Then comes Cameron Michaels in a spring garden dress. Like, it's really, really cute. You get to see her fantastic legs. It's well thought out, you know, the levels of it all, and it's a good shape for her. Now we get to Money Exchange. Now, I really like this queen. I think she's great. This dress is horrible. I think if she'd made a split up one side of it so that there was a bit more movement in the bottom, or if she'd made it into like a trouser set, you know, kind of like Priscilla, if she'd made it into something a bit more like that. But the fact it was dragging on the floor, it just looked like she'd made a dress that was too long. Then all the sponges, just instead of giving her body a shape, which she has a fabulous shaped body. Then we have the Vixen. This is one of my favorite outfits. She looks very sexy in it. It's perfect on her body because she has that really long, sleek body. And the way that everything's shaped with the foam, it looks great to me. I absolutely love this outfit. Next up is Mayhem Miller, and here she is with her gloves, you know, vinyl and latex dress. It's really lovely. The shape is very nice here, spreads out towards the bottom, looks really great on her, and the details with the gloves, really clever, very, very nice. Out comes Eureka. She's got her little dog, and she's going for you know, one of those kind of teenage girls who carries around a handbag. Hey, how you doing? You know, one of those. The problem with it for me was that the skirt was just a little bit lampshady. It was okay. I don't think it was great. The next person on the runway is Monica Hart, who has made herself a card dress, headpiece, neckpiece, like everything has been done. It's really, really lovely. I like the shape of it. I think it's very clever. She's called Monica Hart. She's taken, you know, cards. She's the Queen of Hearts. She's made a wig. It's very, very clever what she's done. The only thing with it is, and I think if she'd done this, I think she probably would have done better, is if the top had flared out at the bottom so that then it covered just the top of the skirt and you wouldn't have seen the break in between the two, then I think the whole outfit would have been much stronger. Now we have Vanessa Vanjie Mateo. Again, beautiful makeup. Everybody's makeup is great this season. Really, really good so far. She hasn't thought about how to create the shape, which is what Michelle says to her, isn't it? You know, she says, you spend so much time creating these garments in order to give you a shape, and then you don't use that shape. So that was the problem with it. It was just very kind of oval, egg-shaped. And then this cape thing, I don't think that helped. Like, I think if she'd used the flowers in more of a love heart, you know, a sweetheart neck, and then done some cutouts with the flowers so that then again we get the shape. And then maybe the tulle at the back could have been a skirt or a kind of like a bustle on the back, you know, so that then you get some movement from the back of it rather than a cape. And now we have Yua Hamasaki. She's in the caution tape dress, and I think the movement in it is really, really nice. You know, what she's got from the skirt is really, really lovely. I think if she'd done more work and structured it more around the top, then she would have done even better. Next up, our final look on the runway is Ms. Cracker. I think in terms of what she delivered, hers is one of the most homogenous. You know, in terms of the performance, the look, the makeup, everything really tied in together. And I think that's why she was in the top 3 this time. And of course, after we've seen the runway, we are introduced to our final judge, who is Christina Aguilera. Oh my God! Like, I love Christina Aguilera. She is one of my favorites, all-time favorites. So it was pretty amazing, her being on it. And then the fact that they introduced her as Farrah Moan, and then she pretended to be Farrah Moan, did the voice, blocked her brows, done all of that stuff. Like, perfect. Really, really funny. the girls all disappear behind stage and we hear what the judges have got to say. They go through everything. The tops and bottoms of the week are brought back out onto the stage. Of course, Mayhem Miller is crowned. She is this week's winner. The bottom three are Dusty Ray Bottoms, Calorie Kardashian and Vanessa Vanjie. We have our first lip sync of the season. Calorie and Vanessa Vanjie go at it. And they're doing Ain't No Other Man by Christina Aguilera. This is one of my all-time favourite songs. Like, I love this track. And I've got to be honest, I was really disappointed with Vanessa's performance. So in terms of what we saw, I thought that the outcome itself made sense. That Calorie was safe and that Vanessa was sent home. I think the unfortunate thing is that I think Vanessa, as a personality on the show, would have been maybe more interesting. Like, I'm just not that interested by Calorie. She just seems a bit bland, like she's empty calories. Here we have a slightly different section to usual. Because I'm in Gran Canaria and it's quite difficult to fly somebody over, we're going to have the UK and Ireland view right now. So here are some points of view from some UK and Irish queens.
It's me, Christina Aguilera. We seem to be having a lot of brand new queens. A lot of them are drag babies of past contestants or other drag queens. And how small is the drag scene in America, because every bitch that walked in that room knew each other. It's fantastic to see Eureka back in the huge, would have to be huge, red and orange and yellow. She looked like a freshly exploded volcano. The first person I spotted that I thought, yes, we've got this, a bit of attitude, is Mayhem. The one that really didn't stand out for me was the one that was actually sent home, that was like, I don't do damn drag and I'm gonna turn it upside down and on its head and upside down and inside out. But she's come a long way since she was hosted out of a garbage can on Sesame Street. Calorie, the runway was shocking. She's in for another week, and that's all I'm going to give her, another week. The thing she made with the dollar bills, yeah, no. She looked like an old mangled fishing trawler net, just a blob of shapeless mess. I really didn't care for that. But if you're watching Calorie, love you, girl. Just to recap, all the way Mayhem for me, and I'm not just saying that because she won the first challenge, but I'm going to go with Mayhem and I'm going to stick with her for at least the next few episodes. I might switch allegiance later on down the line.
Hello, it's Paul Aleksandr of Birmingham with my thoughts on Drag Race Season 10, Episode 1. I thought it was okay. It was relatively safe. There were sound bites and splits. The production was quite paint by numbers, as it has been for a few seasons now. However, there were signs that they might not be taking it as serious. There was no sort of, there's another queen coming back. Instead, they played on that, they made a joke of it. I'm hoping it goes more down that vein, because some of the fans out there are taking it very seriously, and I think the camp and silliness and the it's just drag attitude needs to come back. Having said that, it irked me that Michelle read a face because of dots on it. Makeup's very individual, so individual when it comes to drag. I think it was too early to read someone for repetitiveness when it comes to that, especially as we all have our little traits we stick to. Mine might be a dead Teletubby and glitter beard. So it was okay. The highlight was clearly the queens. They were fun, they looked great, they seemed to be getting on just about a little bit of drama in Untucked. And hopefully they will be the rightful highlight of the show.
Hey, it's me, Glasgow's Lady Munter. So, season 10 of Drag Race is upon us. I love Ms. Cracker. She's really given me everything I need. Funny, looks good, and who doesn't love a Jewish Barbie? Shalom, motherfucker. Calorie was hot as boy, very tasty. With that little twerking body, but really shitty outfit. I mean, come on, could do better. But I would definitely have sent her home and kept Vanessa, because that's just a bit of a joke, really. Bunch of shite bags, if you ask me. Anyway, looking forward to next week, and I'll see you later.
If you would like to give your viewpoint, please feel free. Send me a video of a minute or less to Divina de Campo at hotmail.co.uk. You can use WeTransfer or Dropbox. Please don't use anything else because I am a total technophobe. Try and make sure that the video is in a quiet area, and you must be in drag. Bitch! There ain't no turning up and no drag here! Don't forget to let us know who your favourite is in the comments section. And if you don't agree, let us know. Let us have it. Go on, tell us. You might as well. It's only an opinion after all. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We will be back next week with more reviews of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 10. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Have a good week. Bye!